Hello there, YouTube. Now, you would think after that crazy ride yesterday with all them dirt roads, the last thing I'd want to do is get on the street glide. But I'm riding it because I need to ride it. I know that doesn't make sense, but not that you can tell with me sitting here riding it, but I gave her her first bath. So the old glide got soap and water thrown at her for the first time, and even though I was just washing off dust, it still took me 2.5 hours to do it. But then, you know, I'm anal about getting every little spot. I'm horrible. There is no quick bike washes for me, unfortunately. But she looks brand new, absolutely brand new. So it was like, I think in the 80s or something at some point today. And you know, yesterday it was hovering around 90, I think it was, somewhere around there. But up in the mountains, even up in the mountains where I was there yesterday, it was still in the, well, almost the mid 80s. But we have a drastic change starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's high. I mean, we've been in, you know, knocking on the door of 90 or above here this last week. Tomorrow's high, 65. It's showing 64 now. But yeah, and I'm cool. It is not warm out here. And this Harley jacket has a limited warming capabilities. But tomorrow is, you know, 20% chance of rain, and then geez, by Wednesday the high is supposed to be 61 and like an 80%, 70 or 80% chance of rain. Jeez, I'm telling you, fall is going to hit early this year. Actually, what they're predicting with the El Nino or whatever, it's we're supposed to have a warmer and wetter than usual winter. But, you know, when you read those things, you know, there's disclaimers. They're saying this is just, you know, things that have happened. There's no guarantee. There's so many other things, so many other variables. You know, don't assume that that's the way the weather's going to be. It's just saying that's a characteristic of it, because they still don't fully understand, you know, the effects that it has on everything, because it can do just the opposite. So we've already had a few good rain spells here, and looks like we're coming back into some more rain. Then ended up spending too much time on this. I'd never get the lawn mowed. I need to mow my lawn, but now it's going to get wet and I can't mow it. But with it as cloudy as it is, at probably 7:15 it'll be too dark to see, and it takes me 3 hours to mow my lawn. So, and Kelly even went and got me gas for the mower. She goes, I went there and got you that gas, and you're not even going to mow it. I said, that was my intention. And she goes, you know damn well it's going to take you forever to wash that motorcycle. I said, well, it's just dust. I was hoping I'd get it done quick. She just shakes her head. But always like to, if at all possible, take them for a ride. Enough of a ride that everything obviously gets up the temperature, and let some natural wind blow things. Plus, you know, the gyrating around, the braking, acceleration, and whatever will knock water out of little hidden places. I washed my iron once and blew it off real good, and I mean, just completely dry. Even let it was raining, so I let the engine heat cycle, and fully intending, because I think it was supposed to be nice like the next day or whatever. I thought, well, you know, I'll get out and I'll take it for a good ride and flush everything out, you know. I ain't gonna kill it for 24 hours or less, you know. Well, it ended up raining and just continuing to rain, so the bike, I think it's set for, geez, over a month. And so finally get a nice day and I take it for a ride, and I come back and there's just this like I ran over red paint all over the exhaust and down the right rear of the bike. As it turns out, there's a little weep hole in the frame to let water out if water gets in the frame, you know, because the frame can't be completely sealed off, or, you know, you could obviously get water in there and it could you know, freeze and break the frame, and, you know, it's all, you know, they have to vent, you know. Well, apparently sitting on the side stand blocked that stopped that thing from draining. Well, when I went bombing down the road, it aired itself out all right, and there was still rust water in there that had set all that time. And you gotta, you know, in your head, you gotta wonder, what did that do to the frame? So I blasted some of this BRP fogging oil stuff in there and soaked the inside of the frame. Of course, that dribbled out for a while. But at least I got some kind of a preservative in there, so the frame's not going to rust. So from now on, you know, if they have to sit dirty, they're going to have to sit dirty, but they don't get washed unless it's on a day that I can take it for a ride. No more, oh, look, it's all dirty. So what if it's raining outside? I'll wash it and blow dry the thing off and let it sit. Nope. And I knew better too. That never works. But, you know, I never had a, you know, I wash it and then take it for a ride. Never had anything blow out of the frame, but the thing aired out before it created any rust. Now, I kicked these shocks up a turn each yesterday, and they must have just been overworking them. They got soft, because now they're quite stiff. Now that extra turn seems like it's too much. And, you know, the fact that it's cool outside, the bike's been sitting in my little carport air drying anyway. So actually the temperature gauge said 60 when I left the house. But anyway, the only part of that video I went and found is when I pulled up and seen the mountain. So I could show Kelly, you know, what the Mount Adams look like looking across the Taklak Lake, or Taklak, however you pronounce it. Oh, I know there's people that's going to tell me how to pronounce it correctly. If you want to correct me in my pronunciation, you're going to have a full-time job, because I am one mispronouncing fool. I literally have been that way since I was a little kid. I remember the teachers driving me nuts, making me say it over and over and over until I said it right. Then I'd walk out of the classroom and say it my way. Yeah, it's a couple. There's no way you'll see them, but there's a couple of deer in the far corner. One against the fence, and another one that's kind of out a little bit. You'd never see it. I'm not going to take you all the way out that loop. I'm going to just spin down and go to this turnaround down here. I got things I need to accomplish tonight, but I was taking it for an after bath ride, and thought I'd throw the camera on and take you guys along. Man, everything was covered in dust when I got home yesterday. Gravel right there. Man, what a mess. Even my helmet, everything I did, but I didn't wipe the helmet off. The helmet just has this layer of dust on it. I'm sure my air filter has a lot less life left in it than what it started out with yesterday. Yeah, I'll pop that thing off and bang it around. And the nice thing about the high flow filters that Harley uses, you can actually blow them out. It's not like a K&N that has to be washed, and you never under any circumstances blow it with air. Or you'll make the dirt sucker gravel sucker. It won't be just real fine misty stuff that gets through anymore. You'll let chunks in. And then a lot of the Japanese do it. They have these red or green filters, and they look like they're wet. They look like they've been oiled. It's just special stuff that, and if you blow those out, it disturbs the fibers and actually reduces the flow of the filter. I actually had a guy when I was in advanced induction at American Honda. They took a stock filter for a Goldwing, I think it was, at a flow bench in the classroom, and takes the filter. It was in a sealed bag, you know, brand new part. Takes it out of the bag, and you know, it shows the amount of flow that the filter allowed to pass. And he takes the filter over there, blasts the thing with compressed air, just as if you were trying to clean out it looks like a paper. It is a paper. Well, it's some kind of paper. I forget what they call it. Some special name Honda gives it. But anyway, you know, blew it out just as if he was, you know, blowing out a paper filter, and it puts it back on the flow bench. It was shocking how much resistance it had, how much blowing that filter out with compressed air ruined that brand new filter. There's no dirt in it. So when you look in your Honda manual, and there's other manufacturers that use those same type filters, when it tells you do not blow that filter out with compressed air, you better heed that warning, because you'd be better leaving the dirt in it than blowing it out. Or you can just save yourself the trouble and just stick a sock in your intake for your air box, because that's how your bike's going to run after you blast it out with air. It's going to run like crap. You can be wondering, why does it smell like gas? It seems to be running so rich. I don't understand. Why? You didn't crack that manual open and read the little warnings, did you? I love the people that just refuse to look at any kind of manual, and they learn everything the hard way. What nobody told me, got a manual sitting there on the shelf. Better yet, all the manuals, you know, as a dealer, all the manuals are online now. It takes you 2 seconds to log in to, like, say Honda, log in, look up the manual. You know, unless you know, you know, this is a bike you're very familiar with and you know the ins and outs, don't be working on that thing without some kind of reference. That's like fool's gold. You are an accident waiting to happen. Anyway, that ride yesterday, other than the torturous, hellacious dirt road, oh, and I went over, I mean, nothing's loose. Of course, you know, I hit a bunch of bumps on the way. I mean, nothing rattled. You could hit the rhythm enough that the motor would rock it back and forth enough. I think it was between exhaust and motor mounts. You'd hear a little clink clank every once in a while, but you could tell it was coming from the motor or the motor mounts or the exhaust, because they can only move so much. And what I found is, like, especially coming back down, you just pull the clutch in. Don't use compression braking, because it was transferring them bumps back through the drivetrain and making the motor rock more than it had to. But as I was climbing the hill, I mean, what was my choice? I wasn't going to push it. Wow, it's cold enough out here, not even the bugs are out, which I'm not complaining about that at all. It's not very often you get to go for a ride and not get bugged out, even in September. But anyway, the old Glide, she's all clean and shiny and all purdied up once again. Now she's got nice and warm, so you can get the water out of any little hidden crevices and get some air blowing through everything, so that any other little hiding spots gets blown out. You won't leave water puddled anywhere, that's for dang sure. You know what's funny is when the iron did that, I think when I did the video about winterizing your bike, it was when I washed it and put it away that time for that video, I believe anyway, is when the water was captured in one of the frame tubes and caused some rust. Anyway, I gotta bomb down the freeway. It's gonna get loud. I'm pretty much oh, look at that, a bug got me. Shouldn't have said anything. And I get some slow cars here, so I'm gonna roll out. Thanks for coming along for a little after wash ride on the old Glide. So we'll chit chat with you kind folks later on. Take care now. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you. I think we're gonna stop here. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.